Сегодняшняя наша тема связана с фильмами и актерами. Необычна эта тема тем, что в основном она будет состоять из текстов и заданий по текстам, которые я вам предложу выполнить. Давайте начнем. И начнем мы с небольшого кусочка, который называется My Favorite Film. Among different types of films, that is, comedy, romantic drama, western, adventure film, police drama or detective film, psychological thriller, horror film, historical film. Best of all, I like comedy and romantic drama, because such films are very cheerful and full of life. I don't like horror films, and I find them quite disgusting. Sometimes I may watch a police drama or a historical film, but I'm not very keen on these types of films. В этом небольшом вступлении перечислены многие жанры кино. Давайте рассмотрим их более подробно. Comedy. Комедия. Comedy. Romantic drama. Мелодрама. Romantic drama. Western. 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 Adventure film. Приключенческий фильм. Adventure film. Police drama. Полицейская драма. Police drama. Detective film. Детектив. Detective film. Psychological thriller. Психологический триллер. Psychological thriller. Horror film. Фильм ужасов. Horror film. Historical film. Исторический фильм. Historical film. Послушайте их еще раз. Comedy. Romantic drama. Western. Adventure film. Police drama. Detective film. Psychological thriller. Horror film. Historical film. И мы с вами продолжим читать и слушать текст My Favorite Film. Now, let me tell you about one of my favorite films, Gone with the Wind, by the novel by Margaret Mitchell. Unfortunately, I don't remember the name of its producer, but I like the acting. Scarlett O'Hara, there is no more lively character which makes the reader and spectator palpitate. In the film, this role was played by Vivien Leigh. Maybe the words from the Irish song are about Scarlett. If the Irish eyes are laughing, oh, they are stealing your heart. Scarlett goes through many trials and troubles, but her sharp and strong mind, her strong will helps her to survive. And not only to survive, but to render and to develop moral values in this cruel world. Scarlett is a symbol of wonderful America, the child who was gripped with greed but didn't lose inner beauty. Even her name, which was found at the last moment in the publishing house, contained the ideal and vice, innocence and regeneration. In English, it sounds like scarlet flower and illness, scarlet fever. Much in common, though their characters and fates are different, Scarlett has with the character of another film, Jane Eyre. They are too different, but at the same time too similar. Scarlett is very beautiful, flighty, and noisy. Jane isn't beautiful. She's modest and peaceful. but they are both strong in the difficult minutes of the life. Scarlett and Jane can pass through all the difficulties for the sake of love. They are faithful to their man. And I like that they, thanks to their mind and abilities, reached a lot in life. And eventually people get to appreciate both of them. This is the end of the task. Это окончание текста. Итак, этот текст был посвящен любимому фильму. Этот любимый фильм «Унесенный ветром». Человек сравнивает этот фильм с другим фильмом, который называется «Джейн Эйр». Я специально привела вам пример описания фильма, чтобы вы могли рассказать о своем любимом фильме по этому примеру. А теперь давайте перейдем к теме описания актеров. Я предлагаю послушать и прочитать еще одно сочинение про Кевина Костнера. Okay, please listen attentively. Kevin Costner, a famous American actor, was born in Los Angeles. He spent his childhood often on the move, changing schools frequently because of his father's work at the regional electricity company. As a teenager, he developed a keen liking for football, baseball, and basketball, and was also interested in singing and writing poetry. He married his colleague's sweetheart, Cindy, still at California State University, and came out with a business degree in marketing. In his spare time, he studied in the local theater. Theater became increasingly important to him, and after having worked 6 months in the marketing company, he gave the job up to become an actor. He played many small part roles before his principal role, which was not a success. However, Costner himself was given good reviews. In 1987, his starting role in The Untouchable and No Way Out really introduced him to international fame. Indeed, he won the Star of Tomorrow prize from the U.S. National Association of Theatre Owners. Then, in 1988, came Bull Durham, which was a huge hit movie in the States about baseball. His subsequent film, Field of Dreams, was also a success and touched baseball again. Then came the violent drama movie Revenge, followed by his first directional debut film, Dances with Wolves, in which he also starred and which won 7 Oscars. His movie Robin Hood, Prince of the Thieves was also a great success. I like this actor because the characters he plays are strong personalities, wise people who are worthy of my admiration. In my opinion, this is the reason of his growing popularity in many countries. He is not only a talented actor whose acting draws your attention from the very moment you see his face on the screen, but he is also a successful producer and continues working at his new films, which are certain to amuse the people. This is the end of the text. Это окончание текста. В этом тексте вы могли узнать немножечко про жизнь Кевина Костнера, известного актера и режиссера. Что я вам предлагаю сделать чуть позднее? Прослушать аудирование. Я считаю, что после 2 прочитанных текстов вы достаточно подготовлены к тому, чтобы услышать устную речь без помощи написанного. So, you will have to listen to the biography of Audrey Hepburn and fill in the facts. Я вам предлагаю сделать аудирование. Вашему вниманию будет предложена биография Одри Хепберн. вам нужно закончить приведенные ниже факты. Давайте прочитаем, какую информацию вам нужно будет услышать. Name. Audrey Hepburn. Итак, первое для вас уже сделано. Born in 19. Вам нужно закончить. After World War II, studied ballet in. Started in a London theatre in 19. Most famous movie, Roman. Won an Oscar for Best. Died in 19. Итак, я предлагаю вашему вниманию текст о биографии Одри Хепберн. Вы его слушаете и заполняете пропуски у себя на листочке.
From famouspeoplelessons.com, a listening on Audrey Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn was an award-winning actress. The American Film Institute considered her to be the third greatest actress of all time. She also became a fashion and cultural icon and continues to be so today. She was also a magnificent humanitarian. The memories of World War II horrors shaped her desire to help children, and so she served as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. Hepburn was born in 1929 as Audrey Ruston in Brussels, Belgium. She was the only child of an Englishman and a Dutch aristocrat. She was educated at a private school in England. Her parents divorced in 1935 and her father left. His leaving was the most traumatic moment of her life. After World War II, Hepburn studied ballet in London. Audrey was too tall to be a ballerina and went into acting. In 1951, her first big break came when she starred as Gigi in a London theatre. She won an award and lots of publicity. Her second break came 2 years later in the movie classic Roman Holiday, for which she won an Oscar for Best Actress. Hepburn became one of Hollywood's most successful stars and starred in many unforgettable movies. She used her fame to work with UNICEF for several decades. She declared, "I have a broken heart," after seeing Ethiopia's famine in 1988. She also famously said, "Third world is a term I don't like very much, because we're all one world." Hepburn died in 1993, but remains a much-loved legend.
This is the end of the text. Это окончание текста. Теперь я вам предлагаю проверить, насколько правильно вы выполнили это задание. Okay, now check your answers. Name. She was born in 1929. After World War II, studied ballet in London. Started in a London theatre in 1951. Most famous movie, Roman Holiday. Won an Oscar for Best Actress. Died in 1993. Теперь вы послушайте текст еще раз и согласитесь или не согласитесь с приведенными ниже утверждениями. Я их вам зачитаю. The American Film Institute considered Audrey Hepburn to be the greatest actress of all time. Audrey Hepburn became a fashionable and cultural icon. Audrey Hepburn was born in England. Audrey had an elder sister. Her mother was a Dutch aristocrat. Audrey Hepburn was educated at a private school in France. The most dramatic moment of her life was when her father died. She didn't become a ballerina because she was too tall. Audrey Hepburn was one of Hollywood's most successful stars. She founded UNICEF, United Nations Children's Fund. Now, listen to the text again and decide if the statements are true or false.
From famouspeoplelessons.com, a listening on Audrey Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn was an award-winning actress. The American Film Institute considered her to be the third greatest actress of all time. She also became a fashion and cultural icon and continues to be so today. She was also a magnificent humanitarian. The memories of World War II horrors shaped her desire to help children, and so she served as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. Hepburn was born in 1929 as Audrey Ruston in Brussels, Belgium. She was the only child of an Englishman and a Dutch aristocrat. She was educated at a private school in England. Her parents divorced in 1935 and her father left. His leaving was the most traumatic moment of her life. After World War II, Hepburn studied ballet in London. Audrey was too tall to be a ballerina and went into acting. In 1951, her first big break came when she starred as Gigi in a London theatre. She won an award and lots of publicity. Her second break came 2 years later in the movie classic Roman Holiday, for which she won an Oscar for Best Actress. Hepburn became one of Hollywood's most successful stars and starred in many unforgettable movies. She used her fame to work with UNICEF for several decades. She declared, "I have a broken heart," after seeing Ethiopia's famine in 1988. She also famously said, "Third world is a term I don't like very much, because we're all one world." Hepburn died in 1993, but remains a much-loved legend.
This is the end of the text. Это окончание текста. Давайте мы теперь проверим, насколько правильно вы текст поняли, насколько правильно вы поняли каждое предложение. Проверьте себя. So, the American Film Institute considered Audrey Hepburn to be the greatest actress of all time. It is false. It is said in the text that the American Film Institute considered Audrey Hepburn to be the third greatest actress of all time. Audrey Hepburn became a fashion and cultural icon. It is true. Audrey Hepburn was born in England. It is false. She was born in Brazil. Audrey had an elder sister. It is false. It is said in the text that she was the only child. Her mother was a Dutch aristocrat. It is true. Audrey Hepburn was educated at a private school in France. It is false. It is said in the text that she was educated at a private school in England. The most traumatic moment of her life was when her father died. It is false. It is said in the text that the most traumatic moment of her life was when her father left her because of the divorce. She didn't become a ballerina because she was too tall. It is true. Audrey Hepburn was one of the Hollywood's most successful stars. It is true. She founded UNICEF, United Nations Children's Fund. It is false. It is said in the text that she worked with UNICEF for several decades. Посмотрите еще раз внимательно, какие предложения являются неправдивыми, какие являются правдивыми. Насколько правильно ответили вы на эти вопросы? Если у вас что-то не получилось, не расстраивайтесь. Вы можете прослушать текст еще раз и посмотреть, где и почему ошиблись, или послушать еще раз более внимательно мои объяснения. Удачи!